Hey everybody, what is going on? It is I, Dunbar Snackbar. Yes, it's been such a long time since I've actually gone ahead and made a video for you guys. So I kind of wanted to explain the why behind all of this in this video, what's been going on, why I haven't been posting, and just kind of what to expect from here on out with you guys. Okay? So, oh, and of course I'll be explaining this game a little bit too. By the way, so this game, I purchased it on Steam, so it is available for PC only. It's called Out of the Park Baseball 14. Last time I looked, it was on sale 25% off. So this is a front office type of game. So you can see, since this is an actual game that I'm playing from a graphical standpoint, it's almost non-existent. I mean, you're not actually playing the game, but you're managing what happens. I mean, you tell the pitcher, you know, go ahead and, you know, pitch to them, pitch around them, hit them if you have to. And there's like a pitch-by-pitch mode too, which I haven't explored that yet, just because I'm sure it's going to take a lot of time. But the whole point of front office games is to kind of like build the team. You kind of do it more from its, you know, to see how it all statistically play out than it would be, you know, just to actually go ahead and play the game. So I had one other game kind of like this before. It was Front Office Manager for the Xbox 360, and I thought it was super cool because Billy Bean was the man in charge of it. You know, he was the name and face of everything. But that game, I thought it was just so ridiculously complicated because you had to go through so much arbitration. It just got insane. I'm like, you know what? No, put this down. Not cool. Actually turned out to be one of the worst games that I ever purchased, and kind of one of the biggest disappointments, because I was so excited about a game like that where you're the front office manager, and that actually did have some graphics to it. Like, you could actually watch the game. Was it pretty? No, but you could still kind of watch a game. So that being said, I mean, I am playing as the St. Louis Cardinals. I am playing against the Chicago Cubs, because I had thought about maybe going ahead and playing through, you know, maybe a couple seasons as the St. Louis Cardinals with this, just to see how I could go ahead and build the team, you know, even better than they already are right now. So I'll kind of go into that here just a little bit later, you know, but where I've been. All right, so for the past few weeks, I've actually had a different role at work right now. So I've been working in the training department, which is where I really want to end up being. But my schedule's been a lot different because I work 8 to 5 right now, and I usually work 2 in the afternoon till 11 o'clock at night. So that's a big difference, especially for me, because I'm usually up until 6 o'clock in the morning, and now with 8 to 5, I'm usually waking up at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's been like almost a complete 180 for me. It's taken me some time to get adjusted. Like, I'd have to come home, take a nap, things like that. But the thing that's been the biggest adjustment, and this is a good adjustment, is I've had a lot more time to be able to spend with my wife and my son. Like, one of the reasons why I do commentaries is because since I'm up until 6 o'clock in the morning, my wife and son aren't up at that point, so I have a lot of free time. And so since I have this free time, I mean, I'm able to go ahead and make commentaries and stuff. So, I tell you what, I mean, as much as I love doing this, it's been so nice actually being able to spend more time with my wife and my son. So, do I regret not making videos? I'll be honest, not really, because it's been so refreshing and stuff. So, during that time too, there's been some things that have kind of come up too. Like, I applied for a job at work that it sounds phenomenal, because like what I'm doing in training is temporary, and while that is where I want to go, there's another opportunity that came up that's kind of similar to it, which I can tell you about that later on if I get it or not. But I got the first interview, and I went through it, and you know, I'm like, all right, I may get it, I may not. We'll see what ends up happening, because the response at the end wasn't too pretty. Well, you know, I went through it, and they're like, yeah, well, you got a second interview. I'm like, oh, that's actually really sweet, because I didn't think I'd even, you know, get out of the first interview. So what the second interview was is I had to do a presentation on a service that we offer, and they're in another part of the country than where I'm at, like the people who are actually doing these interviews. So my first interview was over a conference call, The second one, I'm like, oh, this would actually be really cool if I use a program called Adobe Connect, which allows me to be able to do presentations remotely. So I came up with this PowerPoint presentation to give, and I thought I was doing just a tremendous job. Like, I was rocking it. I was making it interactive. I was like making websites pop up on their screens and stuff without them having to click on it. You know, it was pretty good. And then there was this one slide where it had a typo on it where it said she instead of he, and the sentence that followed it, well, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Like, you'll write something down and it makes sense in your head, but when somebody else reads it, it doesn't make any sense at all. And that's what happened. So, like, wait, I don't think I understand what's going on. Like, who is this? And I was like, oh, man. So if I don't get it, I'm going to go ahead and attribute it to that. Like, because I did the presentation over and over and over again, but I never, like, as I was going over the presentation, I'm like, okay, well, what questions do I ask on this slide, blah, 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 blah. I figured since I had typed it already, I had it all down, and I didn't really proofread it. So I may not get a job because I didn't proofread. And you guys can imagine how tormenting that's going to be for me personally. But if I get the job, that would be really cool. I'd love it. We'll see what ends up happening. Keep you guys in the loop. Because that may actually not be a bad thing for me in commentaries, because there's actually going to be some traveling with it. And so if I'm traveling quite a bit, maybe I could take my PS4 with me and a laptop or something and my microphone, and I could still make videos. So that would be cool. So Monday starts day one of my certification for CCNA. It's going to be a new path for me because as far as this certification goes, it's exclusively with Cisco. So how that's going to end up working, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people have told me that it's actually a pretty tough certification to get, which means I'm going to have to focus some time on that too. So again, weekends are going to be mostly dedicated to that. So, yeah, we'll kind of see how that kind of ties into things as well. So a big part to all of this as well, I shouldn't say a big part, but most recently, the biggest thing that's really held me back from videos has been the whole copyright thing that's been going on with YouTube. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just go ahead and search YouTube copyright, and you guys will know pretty quick what I'm talking about. So, I guess, well, to briefly summarize it, what YouTube did is they went ahead and they altered the way that they actually go ahead and they look for content on YouTube that should be related to somebody else, which I can understand because there's so many like documentaries, movies, stuff like that people upload that are illegal. But for people like me who have agreements with like Machinima and all these other places to actually post game content, it shouldn't necessarily apply all of it to what's going on. But what I can tell you is that every single live stream that I have ever done has now been marked up to somebody else. So I don't generate any revenue off of it. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that live streams are really not about making money, but live streams are more about connecting with you guys. Now, but I mean, like, the thing is, though, getting emails, like, almost every single day since they went ahead and started it up, it says, hey, we have information about this video that you did. And it's like, we've matched third-party content to blah, 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 blah. And again, I'm not making any revenue off of it, but it's just like every single day getting an email saying that, hey, this is not your work. You're not going to receive any credit for it whatsoever. It's very, very disheartening. And so many YouTubers are absolutely angry about it. And there's such strong points that are out there. I mean, I'm not happy one little bit with that at all. I mean, I feel, I shouldn't say betrayed or anything like that, but I'm really let down by YouTube. I don't know. I guess I had this thought of like what YouTube is, what they stand for and stuff, and apparently as far as individuals go and the work that we put into it, I feel like that it means absolutely nothing to him. So one thing that I did is I did start up a Twitch account. So, for the future when I do live streams, that way we can go ahead and we can actually post it on there. So that way I don't have to worry about this stupid YouTube crap that's going on. Now, my Twitch account is real Dunbar Snackbar because somebody else took Dunbar Snackbar, which kind of makes me mad. But it is what it is, I guess. So I think that I might do a live stream this weekend to kind of test it out because I am kind of curious about what it's going to be like posting on Twitch, how I can interact with you guys, what services am I going to have to use, because apparently my capture software allows stuff through Twitch, but I've just never actually gone ahead and used it. But that might be kind of nice. And I also want to see the quality because I've noticed like a severe degradation with YouTube quality since I got my new PVR when it comes to live streaming. So I know that Tom and I are planning like a big one for February. It's going to be another charity live stream like we did last June for water.org, but this one's going to be a little bit different. So I'll keep you guys in the loop on that one. But again, live streams, I'm not going to be doing it on YouTube anymore. I mean, if this is what they're going to do, then I'm not going to generate any revenue for them. I mean, I had even thought about maybe just switching over to Twitch whatsoever. And I'll be honest, I even thought about stopping altogether because it's like, sweet, well, if I'm not receiving any credit for what I do, I mean, if somebody is saying that I'm basically lying and saying this content is not mine, when I'm the one who goes to the effort of playing the game, editing it, and stuff like that, then it's not worth it. I mean, with all the time that I got to put into it. So, I know that so this is, I'm changing pace here. Now I'm talking about what's going forward. So, I ran into the same trap that I did last year. And, I kind of regret it because it's burned me out quite a bit too. So, the mistake that I made last year is I was doing way too much. So, here's what I got series-wise right now. So, when it comes to MLB The Show, I've got, I had Braves, but that's done. And I'm going with 30 wins with 30 teams. Diamond Dynasty, Gehrig, and Millar. Okay? So, those ones I intend on keeping until MLB 14, the show comes out. And then I'll be starting over with a 2 road to the shows. Again, a pitcher and a position player. Both of them are going to be historical. That's going to be my trend going from now on. And then I'm also going to have a Dynasty, of course, because that seems to be everybody's favorite. And I do know what team I'm going to be for that. And I don't know if I'm going to do a Diamond Dynasty next year. What I am thinking about doing is like rivalry games instead, like in between. So, that way I can kind of build some more excitement around some stuff too, because Diamond Dynasty, the biggest thing I've noticed that a lot of people want with Diamond Dynasty is me playing as, MLB players. And while that is all great, I mean, I'm all about playing as MLB players. I'm not about having to pay for it, because the amount of credits that it takes to really build an MLB team and then to maintain that team and for me to be playing it as long as I would, not going to happen. So I don't want to be forking money over to necessarily play through a whole series, because that's actually going to be a lot of money that I'd have to end up paying. So I'm still kind of deciding whether or not Diamond Dynasty is in the works. The mentality that I have right now is probably not, but we'll see. I don't know. As far as NCAA goes, NCAA is where my biggest cuts are going to be. Here's why. So a game usually takes about an hour for me to play, and then going ahead and editing it down, I'm pretty lucky if I can get a game edited down in a 2-hour time. So with it taking that long, Like, personally, I'm not happy that EA Sports canceled any college football game, because I do enjoy playing NCAA football. From a YouTube standpoint, I cannot even begin to describe how excited I am that they're getting rid of NCAA football, because it is by far the game that takes the longest for me to have to edit down. Like, usually there is over 100, different plays that take place, and the way that I edit them down and stuff, it's crazy. All right, so, so since that's going away, I'm happy, and I'm going to knock some stuff out from there. So what I had in there was the Coach Dunbar Snackbar Dynasty, which is like the coaching carousel. There was the Nebraska Dynasty. There was the Rascot Recreation. There was Fievel Pin. And if anything, I'm going to keep Fievel Pin for sure out of that one. Really focus on that one. So there was 4 there too. So now I'm at 8. Madden, I had the Texans Dynasty. Or franchise, sorry. And then I had the Teddy Crocker. And then owner mode. So, I don't know. I think next year what I'm just going to go ahead and do is I'm going to do an owner mode. And like a connected career of just one player. So, I mean, I'll be cutting stuff down there too. And then basketball. I mean, I've kind of been smarter. I've done around the league, which is not, a dynasty by any means. I'm thinking about doing that next year. But then I've got Octavio, Chadwell for the my career, or the my player in there. So that's something that I really want to take a look at doing, but I really haven't been able to. So, oh, by the way, one other thing that's kind of kept me back is I have been sick, which is why my voice sounds a lot lower. This sickness was a little bit different here, because most of my sicknesses since I've started the channel has been me, just like having a sore throat and headaches and stuff. But like, I was actually like throwing up on Wednesday. Like, I left work early, and like, I don't know if I should be telling you this, because for some people this would be TMI, but so my wife picked me up from work because I wasn't feeling good, and I'd already thrown up once that day. 30 seconds in the car, I'm like, oh, you better pull over. And so she gives me this plastic bag, and I start throwing up into this plastic bag. And I see that there's a hole right in the middle of the bag, too. So I'm like, great. I'm still throwing up all over myself. And so I lift up the bag, and it was gross. But I feel terrible because it's the first time my wife has ever, like, seen me throw up like that. And I'm just kind of the person, I never want to be seen as weak for anything. And so, yeah, it just wasn't cool. But, I mean, I'm feeling better. I mean, today was the first day I actually ate food. So tomorrow I expect to be 100%. I've been doing so much sleeping lately. Like, I did actually have planned to have some videos up today besides this, but because of me being sick, that just hadn't happened. So this will probably be the only video going up for today. I'm going to try and get some more up for tomorrow. We'll see what ends up happening. But, yeah. So, yeah, so there'll be changes coming down the road with the channel. So I do want you guys to comment and let me know, like, what series you would want me to keep, which ones you don't want me to get rid of. Don't worry, baseball's not going anywhere. That is my first true love when it comes to gaming. So I don't think this channel would be anywhere without baseball anyway. So that being said, that's kind of where my thoughts are. Right now, I don't plan on quitting YouTube. I had seen that there were some comments, in some different places that, yes, I had quit. No, I have not. But has it crossed my mind? Yes. So, I think if I just limit my load a little bit and I'm not so burnt out about things, I will feel better. And I think, too, I don't know. I mean, I'll keep you guys in the loop on stuff as well. But I'm going to try is the big word, to have a live stream this weekend, just to kind of connect with you guys a little bit, since it has been a long time since I've done something like that. And again, that's going to be on Twitch, which I'll like tweet out the link or something like that. I may even try to go ahead and put the link in the description below for the channel that I made on Twitch. But I got to test it out. And who knows? I mean, I may do something on Christmas too. I mean, my Christmas is pretty packed. So in the morning, we're going to my wife's family. And then in the afternoon and evening, I'll be at my family. Christmas. So that'll be a packed day. So I don't want to make any promises on that or anything. But, I mean, it may happen. And I may do something on New Year's Day too, because that's a day I have off of work. So Christmas and New Year's Day, I'm off. So that would be a good thing for me to do. But anyway, so to the game. All right. So again, this game here, Out of the Park Baseball 14. I think this is actually it might have been like a really new release as well. Let me look at that real quick. So I have had some frustrations with it just right from the get-go. I'm not going to lie, because I did go ahead, released December 18th, so this is only just a few days old. I did have a few frustrations with it, because I did decide to go ahead and go through the off-season. So it starts off in the 2013 season, so I went through it, and I got to the wild card, and so I was amazed at the level of decline of Carlos Beltran, because I'm like, okay, well, I know he's going to be a free agent. I'm going to go ahead and extend him for a couple years. So I signed an extension with him, and the ratings are a little bit different. So 16 is actually pretty good. 20s are like phenomenal in here. So he went from 16 down to 11, which was like a 31.25% decrease overall in just 1 year. And so he went from having like a 6 rating in his outfielding ability to 0. Oh, wow. Anthony Rizzo just hit a home run. Okay, so now it's 9-1. Cardinals on top. And then I also had some frustrations with signing free agents, because I had a good amount of money I could play around with. I think it was like around $30 million. All right. So I had $30 million that I could play around with. But there was no notification that I ever got about somebody signing, or like a counter offer being made, like some other team like offering somebody more money than what I did. And so that got really frustrating, because I'd be like, oh, okay, well, they haven't signed with me yet, blah, 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 and find out, oh, wait, well, they're with another team because they countersigned, or they offered a better deal than what I could give. So it was kind of crazy. I might go ahead and redo it. I don't know. But anyway, that is the game. Thanks for staying with me for so long, you guys. I hope this kind of explains everything, what's going on. Again, this is Out of the Park Baseball 14. I may play this a little bit more. I don't know. It all depends on if you guys would care to see, because this is something easy for me to do. It's a piece of cake. So, all right, you guys. Well, I'm going to head out now. Thanks again for watching. As always, you guys, I hope you have a good one.